Welcome, everybody, to the
I'm Fat Podcast.
Snacks are best saved for later.
With Jay Zawoski.
That man ate all our shrimp and 2 plastic lobsters.
And Rick Camp.
Out the mist came a beast more stomach than man.
Welcome into another edition of the I'm Fat Podcast, brought to you by our sponsors, Charlie the Baking Guy, Mazda of Orland Park, Fredo's Culinary Kitchen, and Nick and Ivy Brewing. After a much-needed week off for both of us, I am Rick Camp alongside fellow fat Jay Zawoski. Jay, first of all, as we record on Sunday, happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you, and happy Father's Day to everybody out there who's listening and everyone who has a father that's no longer with them. Rick, I know you're in that that department. I'm fortunate. My dad just turned 80 last week. He's still kicking around and driving me nuts in a good way. Yar. He had me come over this week and pour bleach down, I guess in his basement, because they don't use it a lot. You have to pour bleach down the drain, I don't know what you call it, the drain access
down the drain.
things.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
My dad wanted me to come over and pour the bleach down. Wait, what?
Well, one of these days, maybe. But he's like, you did that so quickly. I go, yeah, that's the point. Stop going down the basement stairs with your 100 feet of oxygen cables and doing it yourself. I can do it in 15 minutes. It takes you 3 hours. And you have to sit down. I'm like, just chill out. Yeah. But I love him. He's a great guy. And happy Father's Day, too, to my Uncle Fran, my godfather, and my 2 late grandfathers, who were also a huge influence on me, in good ways and bad ways, right? You take your lessons and keep a little of this, throw a little bit of this way, and hopefully you're that's
my dad's big
want it.
motivational thing was always, do you really want to be like me? And mind you, he told me this while he was giving me the don't mess up in college speech while we were at Hooters.
Well, I mean, probably not the best place to get your attention.
No.
Yeah. Anyway.
No.
Well, thanks for being with us. We appreciate you, everybody. I hope you do have, I know you're going to hear this after Father's Day. Hope your Father's Day was great and everything you needed it to be, one way or the other. Make sure you're following us on all of our social medias at I'm Fat Pod, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and all the rest. And we have our fan page on Facebook, the I'm Fat Podcast fans group. Lots of good stuff in there. Follow that. We've got our merch shop, I'mFatMerch.com. Some new designs in there, so check those out. The updated Onion Ring of Honor design is up. It's ready to go. So grab one of those. And we got our Patreon, patreon.com/I'mFatPod. So if you want to chip in a couple bucks, you can do it there. I know you can do it via Spotify as well. There's a little tip jar sort of a feature in there. So the best way you can help us, though, and it's free, aside from supporting our sponsors, is to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And tell a friend or two. If you enjoy the podcast, let them know. And also check out our YouTube page, youtube.com/I'mFatPodcast. New episodes every Tuesday. All right. We've got some fats in the news this week, Rick. Some controversy. You want to start with the hot dog eating contest?
Yeah. This is, I don't know how to feel about this.
I do.
Because the brand of which is in question should be in question. Mm-hmm. So Joey Chestnut, the 7 billion time in a row winner of the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. I don't even remember the number. At this point.
It's a lot. You're close.
Yeah, it's a lot. I wonder if you just added up the number of dogs he has won by each year, what stratosphere that number would be in. It'd be a lot.
Yeah.
But because Joey Chestnut signed a deal with Impossible Foods, he is now, because it's in theory, a direct competitor to Nathan's. That's the logic, at least in this. He has been banned from the hot dog eating contest this year.
Well, you know what?
So there's going to be a new champion.
Full props to Joey Chestnut for being the best of all time. But
yeah,
you know what? Good. You deserved it. You have turned your back on the community by partnering with Beyond Meats, which is not meat.
Right.
It's vegan meat.
I'm very happy that we're both on. We didn't actually say what side we were going to be on for this. I'm very happy that we both agree of, you know what? Get your money Do you? But it doesn't mean we have to like it, and it doesn't mean there aren't consequences. This is the hot dog version of signing with Liv. You can do it. You can take the cash. Like, you're allowed to do that. However, there are consequences in terms of what you can win and in reputation.
Yeah.
And this is the travesty for us, where we just want to see greatness. And now we know we're not going to get to see greatness because the greatest has turned his back on the community.
He really has. He really has. And look, like you said, get your money, get your check, all that stuff. It's all correct. But there are consequences to your actions. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I see a lot of people saying, that's not fair. You should be able to compete. No. I don't even care if Beyond Meat's not a competitor. Just by partnering with a vegan company should get you ejected from all eating contests, period.
Yes.
Unless it's a lettuce eating contest.
Yeah. Then good luck beating a goat.
I just got to say, when I see those vegan meat products, they look like, quite frankly, dicks.
Oh, yeah. There's the one that always goes viral of like the sausage that's in the packaging and then it like looks like it deflates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good. Then the other thing too, like nothing against vegans.
Sure.
But you've made your choice.
Right.
You don't want meat? Enjoy this flaccid looking thing. Because you made your choice and I know you're chasing and chasing.
For the record, neither you are not married to, nor am I dating a vegan.
Correct. That's correct. I couldn't.
Right.
Oh my God. It's bad enough that
impossible.
Hope doesn't eat red meat. So I have very little red meat in my life, which is probably actually a good thing in the long run. But I don't remember the last time I had a steak. It's been,
Really?
Like an actual, like, here is a steak. I've had like steak stuff, like steak burritos, steak tacos, whatever. But in terms of an actual like steak with a baked potato, 6 months, maybe longer.
Yeah, it was my birthday for me. Sam made me a filet and it was wonderful. She does not eat red meat either.
Oh, more for you. That's nice at weddings.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah. Well, so Joey Chestnut's out on the 4th of July. Someone else will have to fill his sweat-filled and barf-filled shoes.
I haven't paid enough attention to it lately. Is Badlands Booker A, living, and B, still?
I'm going to be honest with you. I can't watch it.
Yeah.
I think I have a very, a sensitivity to vomiting. Mm-hmm. And it's, even when most of the time those guys don't puke.
Yeah.
Just the vision of them, stuff
It
coming
kinda
back
looks
up. I'm
like
I can't do it. I don't do puke.
No.
I don't do puke. So I don't watch it at all. Because the threat of puke is there. Mm-hmm. So I'm out. I'm out on that. And I'm out on Beyond Meat. Sorry, Beyond Meat. Not for me.
Beyond Meat is Beyond Me.
See? This is why you make the big bucks, Rick.
I know, right? If you've got your marketing jobs, just send them my way.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, I got a bunch of new stuff I tried this week.
Nice.
I was last week 2 weeks ago I talked about the Italian deli I went to on Morgan Street, 31st and Morgan. Well, I went 2 blocks south this week. I saw a guy on TikTok show this giant burrito at the Martinez Supermarket, 3301 South Morgan. And I pulled up to it and I wasn't sure because I saw it's a supermarket, it's a store. There's actually groceries and stuff in there. So I didn't really know what to expect in terms of what was going to be there. So walk in and, obviously once you're in there, it's very clear there's a liquor store / grocery store counter. And then there's a bar across from that. And in the back is the restaurant with the seating. So I did not get the 6-pound Big Baby burrito. But when I was there, I know. When I was there, though, there was a group of gentlemen, probably 6 or 7 city workers sitting together. And this big burrito came out. And there's I asked the guy if I could take his photo. There's the 6-pound Big Baby burrito from Martinez Supermarket. I'm like, okay, this group of 7 dudes is going to share this.
Yeah.
And then one after one, each of their entrees started to come. As this one guy in this photo was working his way through the burrito. I don't think this picture does it justice. He was holding the burrito like a baby.
Yeah.
Like for pictures with his friends. Like holding it like arm up. Like you would hold like a large size infant. Mm-hmm. It is massive. Massive burrito. You can see it's really nicely grilled on the top.
I was going to say that grill mark over the course of the top of that entire goddamn thing is impressive.
Yeah. So that is like $40. And
I would imagine.
it would feed a lot of people. Okay. So that's there. And then, hold on. I'm scrolling through. So this is a photo of their regular burrito.
Well, do we know how far he got?
When I left, he was like, so that thing is cut in thirds. He was through one of the thirds and working on the second third.
Okay.
So I think I overheard him say, though, like, there's no way I'm going to be able to finish this.
Okay. Fair enough.
So there is the burrito. Like, that's their standard burrito. And I don't know how well that illustrates how big it is. But that's $17.99. And I was going to get that. And that's also huge. Like, that would be probably like one of the biggest solo burritos you've ever ordered. So I ended up getting the steak tacos because I was not starving. I had had kind of a late breakfast, and then this was an early lunch. So I got just their carne asada tacos with onion and cilantro. They were fantastic. I mean, it's hard to mess these up, but sometimes when you get these things, like the steak can be a little bit dry or a little bit flavorless. The steak was juicy without being like gross and like drippy.
Yeah.
And the onion and cilantro were perfectly prepared. The tortillas were wonderful. So if you're out in the Bridgeport area, check out Martinez Supermarket, 3301 South Morgan Street. Great Mexican food, but that big baby burrito, and I think they have it. I have another. There it is. Like they have the box for it. It's like up on a car jack.
Oh my God.
To show you how big it is. So the box maybe does it better justice in showing you how big that is.
That's crazy.
That would go end to end with the burrito. That is truly how big it is. So it is massive. I can't imagine many people have been able to take it down on their own.
No. And especially if there were a time limit involved with that.
Yeah,
there's no chance in hell.
I'll say this. I didn't see any signs of people like, hey, finished the big baby or anything like that.
Okay.
And I didn't see like the big baby challenge or anything on the menu or anything. So
or Big Baby Davis.
That either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see him either.
Now.
But what'd you say? He's in prison?
Yeah.
Why?
Like insurance fraud from the NBA.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Wait, Big Baby Davis. The Celtics guy?
Yeah. Celtics and Clipper, and they're like, I haven't watched Clipped yet. You know, Clipped is like the Donald Sterling. Like, they basically took the podcast that Ramona Shelburne spearheaded for ESPN and like made it into like a mini series. Apparently, I haven't watched it yet. Apparently, the casting of it is absolutely horrific.
I thought who plays him? Who plays Sterling? I remember.
It's Ed O'Neill.
Oh yeah. Right.
But like Lawrence Fishburne plays Doc Rivers.
Oh, that's the same thing. Okay, because I saw people kind of panning the Doc Rivers scene, like from practice, where he's yelling at people.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Lawrence Fishburne was on, I think, Dan Patrick, and he fully said, he's like, I didn't know who the hell Doc Rivers was. I don't care about sports.
That's right, Cowboy Curtis. You tell him.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard it's almost like a fun bad type of watch.
All right, well that's fun. I'm in maybe. I got a lot of stuff to. I haven't even started watching.
I forget what it's on. What Clipped is on. I don't know. All I know is I'm going to have to get Max for a few months to be able to do Hard Knocks, because the Bears being on Hard Knocks, I don't care how like watered down and edited the footage is. It's going to be interesting, A, because it's the Bears, and B, because here's a team who wanted nothing to do with it, who's getting forced to do it.
Yeah, and I'm very glad it's happening in a year where I don't work at the Score.
Yeah, how about, could you imagine cutting all that goddamn audio?
Every freaking quote and comment would be cut up and dissected forever. I don't like the way that Caleb Williams guy looked at the coach in that meeting at 12:15 and 32 seconds mark. Oh my God. Ugh. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it.
Right, and getting the requests for different audio from it 3 minutes before the show starts.
Well, that too. Anyway, that's a past life.
Yeah,
Let's
right?
live in the now.
it?
So I highly, highly recommend Martinez Supermarket, 3301 South Morgan Street, right there in Bridgeport. Good stuff.
All right, I'll hit the other big national news that made its way to the fan page this week.
Yeah,
And I feel like I am the one that has to address this.
probably.
In Milwaukee, there was a patron at a Qdoba, because the locations do exist, that was eating a burrito, said he had a metallic-y taste in a bite, reached into his mouth, and pulled out a razor blade.
Yeah. It's probably not the best thing for Qdoba. I'm going to say something, though.
No.
I have the picture up on the screen now. I don't believe that's a razor blade. I think that is.
No.
I think that's a piece of machinery. Like, that looks like something that you would. So that little oval shape in the middle looks like something you would screw into that slot, and it would maybe hold maybe like one of the containers they have the meat in. Like maybe that props it up like on the cooling agent. That is not a razor blade.
It also looks too wide to be a razor
Yeah,
blade.
that's not a razor blade. That is a piece of machinery.
Yeah, because like I was trying to think of what that could be or how it would happen. Because like even the guy admits, he's like, listen, people make mistakes. He like acknowledged that this is a very weird circumstance.
Yeah.
And he just so happened to be the guy that it happened to. And he said he will never eat a Qdoba again. And hey, I don't blame him after that type of incident.
Same.
However, the biggest quibble that I have with anybody in all of this is corporate Qdoba. What are you doing? All this guy wants is to kind of be made whole in all this. And you offer him 2 free entrees and that's it?
I just see
Guy had metal in his mouth from one of your burritos.
They just hand
it
him
could be
like
a delicious burrito, but there was metal in his mouth, and you're only offering 2 free entrees.
I can just see like
metal-less entrees.
some poor employees like gives them the little like they keep them in a drawer, the little business cards, like 1 free entree. Thank you. No, I don't know what's up. So what's proper then? I mean, two is laughable. I bet you come in here, you're getting a free burrito every time you're here. Just we got your name on the list.
It's either at a bare minimum, it's free Qdoba for life.
Yeah.
And I don't know if adding some monetary thing opens it up to like more litigation type whatever, but like there's got to be something more you could do, because I feel bad for the individual store owner.
Yeah.
Who clearly is like, seriously, corporate's only letting me do this? And he's got to be the face of that?
I mean, you could always, though, as a store owner, be like, look, man.
Yeah.
You come in. We know who you are. We'll take care of it. You know what I mean? Like,
and maybe that happened, and that is a deal under the table that the guy has with him. But if the dude's like, I'm never coming back to Qdoba. There are a few instances where I'm like, I get it.
All right.
This is one of them.
We asked this question before when I had the long piece of hair in my, I will now reveal it, Mr. Submarine Sub. I did finish the sub. Would you finish the burrito if you fully inspected it for a second piece of metal?
No.
Okay.
Nope, that one's done. That one is done. I just hope your Larsa Pippen hair was was delicious.
It was about that long. It was very, 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 like, it just was like.
Yeah.
Kept
it was
coming.
Like it was like a clown thing.
Yeah, it's like what I usually find in my butthole or my wrapped around my wiener in the morning when I take a shower. Like, why do I have long hair wrapped around me? Are you there yet?
Not yet.
You haven't found long hair in your cracks and crevices?
Not like to the point where I'm like, what the hell?
No. Oh, no, I know what they're from. It's from the people I live with.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. It's too much.
Yeah,
I hate it.
that was a thing more in a past life than it is in the current life.
Okay. Fair enough. That's good. Well, you know, blonde versus whatever. All right. Hey, let's talk about, I want to talk about Nick and Ivy. And I got a reason for it. I went to, well, first of all, we'll tell you about Nick and Ivy, 1026 South State Street in beautiful downtown Lockport. Great craft beers, great neighborhood place, craft beer quality brews with neighborhood atmosphere, pinball machines, live music. They're always active in the community out there in Lockport. So if there's an event or a festival going on in Lockport, you can bet that the people at Nick and Ivy are going to be part of it. Go visit them. I went to Lassen's this week, which we're going to talk about that next. And they started carrying Nick and Ivy beer.
Nice.
So I tried the Hubner, the Fred Hubner beer, created by Nick and Ivy, just like last month that came out. This was excellent. Ooh. You know, I don't love too hoppy, but it was hoppy, it was piney, it was sweet. This was very, very, very good. Highly recommend the Hubner from Nick and Ivy Brewing. Go get some there. But again, like if you're out like in the southwest burbs, you'll be able to find Nick and Ivy at a few different places. I know you can buy it in some grocery stores as well out that way, like the Jewels out in Bolingbrook and Romeoville, like those areas. You should be able to find Nick and Ivy there. But if you head out there, 1026 South State Street, try the Hubner. Try the other new one. The Eve Casino is a brand new one they released. They're always coming out with new stuff, seasonal stuff. So go check them out. 1026 South State Street. Follow them on social media at Nick and Ivy Brewing. The website, nickivybrewing.com. It's an awesome spot. You can bring food from anywhere in there. Lots of great food in the area. So go check them out. So that's what we went to Lassen's, and then Hope and I were like,
gigantic wings.
They have gigantic. Their boneless wings are tenders.
Yes.
Know that going in. Because didn't you order 20?
Yeah, I ordered a stupid amount.
Well,
and
20,
I looked at them when they came out, and I was like, holy shit.
But you go into it thinking boneless wings are like this, and they're like, all right, I'll have 20 of those and then bring some home, whatever. Maybe not. You basically ordered 20 tenders.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, like, yeah, maybe I'm going to do, maybe I'll do wings. I wasn't really sure what I wanted, but it's always a good idea to check out their specials. I'm going to throw up on the screen their seasonal specials that are going on right now. I thought you
didn't like vomit.
What?
I thought you didn't like vomit.
I don't like vomit. Their food's great.
No, but you said you're going to throw it up on the screen.
Throw it up again. I got you. No, I did not throw
Happy Father's Day, everybody. Dad jokes are here all the time.
All the time. So here's the rotating specials. Pear salad, we won't talk about that. The ribeye sandwich. The Duck Norris, which is a half-pound Slaggle ground beef, tart cherry bourbon mustard, roasted balsamic shallots, Gruyere cheese, and duck fat pipette on a brioche bun. That sounds good, right?
Didn't Duck Fat Pipette lead the CFL in receiving or something?
He did. Yeah, it was like 1989 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't Mark Trestman the coach then?
Probably. He was one of the originators of one of the concepts in the toolbox.
Well, there are many concepts in the toolbox. Santa Fe chicken, which, you pretty much know what that is. So here are the two I was deciding between. The Moo and Oink, which is smoked pulled pork with Carolina Gold barbecue sauce and Dewey sausage and smoked shredded biscuit with their house barbecue sauce on brioche.
Oh, yeah.
And then the stuffed meatball sandwich, pork and beef meatballs stuffed with fresh mozzarella cheese, vodka sauce, provolone cheese, Parmesan cheese, and pesto vinaigrette on a garlic French roll.
There's no bad choice. That's for sure.
No, there's not. I went with the meatball because when I saw the garlic bread as an option, that's what sealed it for me.
Yep.
Yeah, this picture is not doing it justice because it was
a huge sandwich.
It is very big. It was a little bit dark because we were in the basement, so it's kind of dim down there, so the lighting didn't work out great. But the sandwich, clearly they make it and then they throw it in the oven in foil and just bake it. There are probably 3 or 4 good-sized meatballs in here. I will say, if Chris from Lassen's is listening, it could have used one more meatball. I felt a meatball short, but man, was it good. Every bite of this was excellent. The garlic bread was perfect. Absolutely delicious. And then our friend Brian, who Rick, we're there all the time, talk about him all the time. He actually had the Moo and Oink the day before and said it was amazing. So I have to go have that too. Because I kind of held off because Carolina Gold is a little bit mustardy.
Yeah.
And I don't love mustard. So I was a little bit afraid that was going to ruin the experience for me. But I've been reassured it is not mustardy at all.
Okay.
So I will try the Moo and Oink and report back. But if you've never been to Lassen's in Homewood, you should check it out. The address is 2131 183rd Street in Homewood. It's right there, just past Harwood. So it's between Dixie and Harwood on 183rd Street. But it's so good. All the food there is great. Great wings. They've got these new wings they're prepared a little bit differently. They're called the F&G wings. So they're fried and then grilled. So it gives it some char and some caramelization, and it's got a really nice, like, spicy, sweet and spicy sauce on it. They're phenomenal. That's what Hope got. Lassen's is excellent. It's one of my favorite places. When people say they're coming to Homewood, they don't know where to go. It's the first place they tell them about. Mm-hmm. And even with the emergence of the Bergstein's Deli that just opened in town, Lassen's is still the king because their food is so great. Their specials are amazing. Love that place. So
yeah,
go
we
check
went
it
there
out.
one time when we met up during COVID.
Yeah.
And then, is that where we went after the 0.3K?
I believe so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because I think we were still wearing the medals and stuff. And,
Oh, yeah, we're very
being
proud of
idiots.
ourselves. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we finished a race.
We did.
Everybody else, screw you.
Yeah, suck it.
So, a couple days ago, I missed an opportunity.
Uh-oh.
You hate those times where you see an item and you're like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I know what this is. I'm not going to bother. Mm-hmm. And then you try something else. And then after the fact, you find out what it actually is. And you're like, yeah, that could have been good. This happened on Friday.
Okay.
When it's been a long couple weeks at work. I will not get into that part of it.
No.
So, Brett and I took most of Friday to go golfing, and we went to Eaglewood Resort and Spa. They got a golf course over in Itasca, and we play the front nine. We mostly survive and get into the halfway house. Just want to have like a beer and a quick lunch because I hadn't even had breakfast at that point, and I thought it was smart. Let's go. Play half a round of golf without having eaten anything today. That was smart. And they have, like your basics, nothing earth shattering from, on its face for what they have for food offerings. So we each get a couple hot dogs and a couple beers. Well, there was a thing on the menu called a burger dog. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, if all this stuff is pretty basic, it's probably they don't want to spend money on hamburger buns too. And it's just like burger on a hot dog bun.
Yeah.
That was my thought. I was wrong. People that got food after us, which was after it had been a few minutes, so we were most of the way through our meal. This burger dog, from what I heard, is a hot dog wrapped with burger, wrapped with bacon.
Oh.
And I did not order it.
Rick?
It's honestly probably for the best that I didn't order it for having to go through 9 more holes of golf in the middle of the day. However, this was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find it here on the website, and I believe I found it. Let me see. Do you know what it looks like?
No, I didn't even, by the time people got them, we were already leaving to head back out onto the course.
Does that look like what you described? Kinda,
yeah. It could be that. I don't know for sure.
There's only one way to find out, Rick.
Yep.
Go back.
Guess I'm just going to have to go back because I'm telling you. I mean, the hot dog was good. It was just a nice, solid hot dog. But if that was an option, I missed my calling for the day.
Yeah,
And I hate that feeling when you go somewhere and you're not even thinking, in that case, I'm hoping to God, and this shows where I am as a golfer, seeing as this is my first full round in 4 years. I was praying I was going to break 120.
Oh, yeah.
So, I shot 59 on the front, so I'm like, oh, man, I'm, right on pace. So all I'm thinking of is, let's have some lunch, get back out there. One of the times where the food was secondary to me. But then after hearing that, while sitting there and having a summer shandy, I'm like, that's a missed opportunity by me.
It is, but at the same time, you don't want to be mid-course after gorging yourself on not that it was scorching hot last week, but hot enough. Mm-hmm. But, you were made up for it with the summer shandy. Summer shandies taste better on the golf course.
Absolutely.
I don't know what it is, And is there like a better moment? Maybe you could add this to March Fatness for next year. When the cart arrives with the beer and the treats.
Oh, yeah.
It is just the greatest. When you see it run in the corner, you're like, yeah. Give me a 2/3 crumbled Nature Valley granola bar.
Yep.
Give me a brag of pretzels. Give me a 16-ounce beer, and let's go. Like, it's just I don't know what it is about that moment when the cart arrives, but it's just like, from heaven.
The cart bit me in the butt on the back nine because after we didn't see the cart the entire time on the front nine. Have 2 beers and 2 dogs before we head out for the back nine. Then we're on I think it was 12 maybe. And cart girl comes by and Brett's like, hey, I hear they have this great drink here, a transfusion. And I'm like, okay, cool, let's go for it. I want to say, I don't remember exactly what was in it, but I saw her pour the vodka and I was like, oh, this was not your... Like, John Taffer would not have approved of that pour. It was more than 1.5 ounces. It was like almost half the glass.
Oh my God.
So by the time we got to 14 through 16, I was beyond my good buzz point.
Yeah.
And then thankfully for the last 2 holes, I kind of came back down to earth. But as my drinking level went up, as did the scores. So I did not hit 120.
Well, you had an excuse at least.
Yeah. But I mean, either way, it was a blast to just get out on the course for the first time in forever.
I haven't golfed forever.
Even if I did miss that eating opportunity.
Yeah. Oh man. That's fun. That does sound good though, the burger dog. Next time you'll have to get it.
Yes.
I have faith that you'll be able to do it. It sounds like something that they would have at Fredo's.
It does.
Doesn't it? I'm sure they've probably had it before. Well, go find out what they have at Fredo's Culinary Kitchen right now. We have talked about them for a couple of years, I would think, right? They've been with us for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
You should check them out there in Schaumburg, 628 South Roselle Road. And the great part about Fredo's is it's not just your basic burger and dog place. If you're into that, they got it. Don't get me wrong. You'll be able to get the sort of stuff you want at Fredo's. But what really sets them apart is the creativity of their items and those sort of things. They've got specials all the time. They got monthly specials all the time. But again, you got pizza, you got burgers, you got tenders, all that stuff. But just go try everything there. The I'm Fat Burger, the I'm Fat Pizza, the I'm Fat Grilled Cheese are all there. I'm looking at their burger of the month this month. It is the Tikka Masala Burger. That's in June. So it's a tantalizing fusion of flavors available exclusively in June. The gourmet creation starts with tender chicken tikka drenched in delicious masala sauce, paired with 2 Fredo specialty 50-50 smoked apple bacon and beef burger patties, topped with a mouthwatering mix of shredded mozzarella and provolone, fresh red onion, and spinach tossed in olive oil, salt, and pepper, all nestled in a grilled Toronto classic burger bun. That is the June special at Fredo's. The Tikka Masala Burger, everything there is up to par with that. So check them out, FredosPizza.com. They got FredosBakery.com as well. And if you want to place an order online, when you go to FredosPizza.com, use that code I'mFat, and you'll save 10% on your order every time you shop at FredosPizza.com. So do that. We would appreciate it. Mm-hmm. So yesterday, Rick, I had 3 softball games to manage. A doubleheader at 9 and 11, and then we had to drive out from there out to Frankfurt for a playoff game for Eddie's 15U team.
Boy, you lucked out that it was the last non-90 degree day.
Oh, I know. Well, we got a game Tuesday night, and we have a game Wednesday night. So at least at night it shouldn't be as bad, hopefully. But yeah,
sure.
We had the cooler ready to go, full of Gatorade and freeze pops and everything, but it really wasn't that awful. We all got sunburned, but it wasn't horrible heat-wise. Mm-hmm. Anyway, with that in mind, at CHGO, we just got a new sponsorship with Mando.
Okay.
I'm sure you know, they're that all-body deodorant company. Mm-hmm. And I've never tried it before, and I know there's a women's version called Loom. I think it's the same company.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hope's used it, and she likes it, so I'm all right, I got these Mando samples from Mando, so I'm going to give it a try, right? The all-body deodorant. So it's a stick, your basic, soft, not like the squishy stuff that they used to make, but like a solid roll-on, not a gel. So I go, each crotch gets a swipe. Give the undercarriage a little "Who's Your Father," Yep. Then I did like under my man boobs, and like kind of on my lower back, and then behind my knees. So that's like where I applied the stuff. Sure. I got through 3 games. Came home, gave myself the smell test. It works. Still fresh as a daisy. I noticed I was not super sweaty throughout the course of the day, and then today I put it on again. Same places, but I forgot behind my knees. I just didn't do behind my knees. And then I was outside for a little while this morning. And that's the one thing that was sweating. Everything else is fine. So through a couple rounds of the Mando, I still use my Dr. Squatch for my armpits.
Sure. Just
because I really love the smell. Mm-hmm. But the Mando all over body deodorant stick, it was the Mount Fuji scent, which is very nice. It's subtle. It's not like overpowering.
Okay.
It really did the job, at least odor-wise.
Okay.
Like because the Dr. Squatch works for me with the sweat. I don't sweat on my pits when I use Dr. Squatch. Mm-hmm. And I remember like the one time I changed up from I was out of Dr. Squatch, so I had to use like Old Spice or something. And it failed me immediately. And I had to go to the dermatologist. I was like getting all my like moles and stuff checked. Mm-hmm. And she's like, all right, take your shirt off. And I pulled my shirt up and my pit smelled so bad that I like spent the rest of the appointment like this. And she's like, do you want me to look? I'm like, nope, everything under my arms is fine. There's nothing. I wouldn't even let her look. Okay. That's how bad it was. So I'm like really scared to try something else. So I'll have to do it like on a day I don't have anything to do.
Sure.
But the odor,
that's smart.
The odor reduction is real. Like there was no, I did like the little.
The hey, how's your father?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's very pleasant. It smells like it did when I put it on. So I don't know. So far, so good with the Mando stuff. They have also like a cream deodorant you can put on. They also had deodorant wipes, which I used the other day after like I had driven home from work and I was about to go do another softball game and I'd gotten kind of sweaty in the car. It was hot. So I just like rubbed those on and it seemed to work pretty well. So far it's good stuff. I'll keep it going and let everybody know how it goes. But to have that in the summer is clutch.
I know it's Mando, but all I could think of is the Mando drinks from Gelsert.
Oh yeah,
like that's all I could think of, and I'm like, man, you know what would taste great right now?
A Mando,
red
Mando, yes,
red Mando.
Well, don't eat the all body deodorant.
No, I will not be doing that.
Okay.
So I did have one thing that just to hit a quickie here, and I'll save a longer thing for a little bit, but going through 7-Eleven. And I saw like things that I hadn't seen brought together before, And it was Warhead Taffy. And this was 2 flavors in the same like bar. So think of the same size as a Laffy Taffy, along with my gigantic hand. And of course the fat roll on the wrist, which is just clutch.
Good temperature choice, by the way, too. Nice.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Always. That's kind of the default in the car. But, so this thing was half watermelon, half like sour watermelon, sour apple. And I was prepared for like, maybe not full tilt Warhead sour. Because like Warhead sour is...
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, it's too much. This was not too much. If anything, I was actually almost hoping there'd be more. Like it was a real solid water, like the flavors themselves, good. But would I have maybe liked a hair more sour in there? Yeah.
Interesting.
So if you see those in like a 7-Eleven, it's essentially just think of like a sour Laffy Taffy. And that's pretty much what you're getting. I'm sure it's probably like same company or whatever, and they just have Warheads branding and whatever. However, like I will, if they're ever on sale, I'll get them. I don't know that they're like an absolute must, but as something that I was intrigued by when I saw it, sitting there, yeah, I think it's absolutely worth a try. So just, I like that we're getting a little more fun here with typical, it's not just like, okay, here's your regular old Laffy Taffies. It's like, okay, let's try and, okay, people love sour.
Yeah.
But you don't need to have sour with all the like sugar on top
Yeah,
of it.
it doesn't have to be a challenge to eat it either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like there's a happy medium, and I feel like I understand them going off of what a Warhead was, because even when I was a kid, like Warheads were a little much for me.
Yeah.
Just maybe push it back a little bit into a little more sour, and I think you'll nail that flavor.
Okay. I like that. A little thing I had, something to keep for your notes. Rick, you will eliminate yourself from this because Nutter Butters are involved, but DQ has the ultimate cookie blizzard. Your standard blizzard with Chips Ahoy, Oreo, and Nutter Butter. It's pretty damn perfect. So just have that on your radars for the summer. And then I tried another place that I'd been meaning to try for a long time. Dave's Hot Chicken. Have you seen Dave's Hot Chicken before? It's a chain.
Yeah, I've seen like the logo around.
Yeah, so we went out to my niece's softball game out in Naperville, and we were just looking for something new to try. So we tried Dave's, and I gotta say, I was very impressed with it. I didn't really know what to expect because I did know it's a chain. It's definitely a chain, but it's pretty damn good. So you can see here I got the tenders, or the sliders rather. So you get two. Those buns are super soft, and those are pretty good sized tenders.
Those look like, are those potato rolls?
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
And those are, if you've been to Fried at Coop, like the same size tender. So you get two of those and then a nice crinkle fry with a nice seasoning on it. And then Hope got the tenders, and they come on Texas toast with the fries as well.
Love it.
And then I'll share
I also
them.
love the logo.
Yeah, the logo is the chicken that screeches.
Yeah.
Like the toy chicken that when you push it down, it yells.
Yeah, I love the guy that does the TikTok where it like does songs with one of those.
Yes. So here's the menu. It's similar to Raising Cane's, where there's not a ton of options.
Okay.
But two tenders with fries, two sliders with fries, a tender and a slider, or a slider. Like those are your options. And they also have like catering menus too. So
Kale slaw.
did I say kale? Oh, don't
No,
worry,
I'm just reading this.
I did not eat that. I promise you.
Kale slaw.
Yeah, I don't
Get bent.
think. Well, I didn't get that. I promise you.
Good.
But the sides are fries, cheese fries, mac and cheese, kale slaw, and then you can order bonus tenders or sliders on the side. Good, not incredibly cheap, but again, not overly expensive. We've been talking about this a lot lately. Like the other day, this was yesterday, between our games, I went to Jimmy John's to get sandwiches for me, Hope, and Addie. We all got standard subs, chips, and a drink. $45.
Jeez.
This morning, we went out to Gabe's, our favorite little diner out there in Chicago Heights. Got full, we all got like full breakfast plates. It was $41. I'm telling you, it is cheaper now to go sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
It's cheaper
really
now than
is.
fast food, honestly. Anyway, Dave's was really, really good. I got the hot, which was hot but not killer.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, and Addie got the mild, and she said it was a little sweeter than she preferred, which I thought was interesting. I tasted hers, and I'm like, well, I don't taste sweet, but I also just finished a whole order hot, so my palate is probably
So
not the most.
Yeah, your taste buds are kind of nuked.
Yes, it's not the most reliable, clean palate to judge, but otherwise, everybody really liked her stuff. And if you see Dave's Hot Chicken around, check it out. It's good. There's a bunch of them.
Nice.
That Naperville one was full of teens. Oh my
Yeah.
God. It was like, am I allowed in here? It had like I know it was weird. It was kind of weird. But anyway, it was good. Not their fault. It just happened to be the timing they were in there. But
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not great. Okay, I have one more like bigger thing. Place that I went to, Nobel House in Geneva, 307 West State Street. That's Roosevelt Road for those keeping score at home, Route 38. I went with Sam's brother-in-law, Steve, and just like hadn't had any new barbecue for a while. And let me tell you, it's an option. It is.
All right.
It is in rotation because very, very good. Like, I honestly think the showstopper was the appetizer. We got an appetizer of burnt ends. Like, okay,
That looks
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, it's just burnt ends on top of homemade potato chips.
Yeah.
So you get some of like the oozing of the burn ends onto the chips, but the chips maintain their integrity. And it's not like anything too crazy, I think, in their rub. I really think it's just like good salt and pepper, like strong salt and pepper on it. And it's just like, let that meat shine. And they did, because like I could have eaten those like little cubes. If you're not watching on the YouTubes, you should check it out. However, like just it's little cubes of burn ends on top of these beautiful homemade potato chips and little skewers. So that way you can just like go in there if you don't want to combine the two, even though I would recommend it. Like just really high quality burn ends that like a little more structural integrity than maybe some would like, because some like their burn ends, just like falling apart, essentially. This maintained its structural integrity, but was still very, very good. And then, because those were so good, I just decided to be smart and be like, oh, well, their brisket can't be bad if their burn ends are that good. So at that point, I just went with the old brisket sandwich.
Yeah.
And it hit.
Good choice. Those onion rings look phenomenal too.
Yeah, and it wasn't even an upcharge for the onion rings.
Oh, that's nice.
It was just like you can get fries, onion rings. Like they had plenty of options for your side. So I'm like, oh, I get extra barbecue sauce on the side. I can have onion rings just as the side instead with that brisket. Yeah. And like quality bun, like just everything there is quality. Like you look at the menu and they're not trying to like overcomplicate everything.
The bun?
Yes. The bun.
That looks
was
phenomenal.
really good.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a place that is right there in downtown Geneva, pretty much. Oh God, is it right on 3rd Street? It's like right on Roosevelt Road in downtown Geneva, the stretch that everybody thinks of. It's right there. It'll be on the north side of the street. It is fantastic. So if you're going through Geneva at any point, I highly recommend it.
All right, I got one more little thing I want to mention because we have a ton of Ask-A-Fats, and some of them are pretty long. So we're going to get to that soon. But I finally got to try Billy Brick's Pizza.
Nice.
When Danny Parkins did his telethon for By the Hand to raise all that What About Chicago thing, they brought in like these little cookie bites. And it's the only thing, my only context for Billy Brick's was that. But I had driven past it a bunch. I went to the one in LaGrange, stopped in for lunch, and I got their, it's like a brick oven pizza place. It's called the Neo Margarita. It's tomato sauce, fresh basil, a drizzle of EVOO, house cheese blend, and oregano. Nothing complicated, just a very basic margarita pizza. It was fantastic. It was really, really good. Fast. I think I got my food within like 5 or 6 minutes. And it was maybe like the full, I think maybe it's an 8-inch pizza, was filling enough for a meal, got a drink. I think all that was like $13-14. Like a really, really good deal. They've got a ton of different pizza options, but I was just kind of like, I don't have time to process everything you're throwing at me here. But I just have the pizza types up on the screen, and there's tons. I'm looking at probably 16 different pizzas here.
I think the pepperoni and peppers was generally my default.
That sounds like yours, yes. That would be my prediction for you. But so much good. This honey love looked good with the hot honey on it. Like, check them out. There's a lot of Billy Brick's locations. I, again, went to the one in LaGrange. But there's, let's see, Highwood, LaGrange. There's a few more. But, yeah.
There's one in, like, downtown Lombard.
Yes.
Right on St. Charles Road. It's on like the west end of like the downtown stuff. That one's very good. There's one right across the street from Yorktown Mall in the that little strip mall right behind the patio.
Oh yeah.
It's right there, like just off of 88 and Highland. So that's another one. I mean, there's in the Western Burbs especially, like you got a few locations that you can choose from.
Nice. All right. Well, you know what? Do that. Visit all of them. And then when you do it, you can use your new Mazda to get around. Because I love my Mazda. Got it back finally after all these weeks of getting all the hail damage repaired and back in the groove. Love that car. And you will too. Visit our friends at Mazda of Orland Park, MazdaofOrlandPark.com. Reach out to Eric Vates there. He can get you squared away with a test drive or just come in the showroom. Check things out. They're not going to be all over you in the showroom. Just they'll say, hey, can I help you out with anything? Say, no, I'm just looking around. Or yes, I do actually want some help. I'm interested in the CX-30 or the CX-50 or whatever you might be into. I love both my Mazdas. Both of them purchased at Mazda of Orland Park, and I'm confident you will too. They're located at 8910 West 159th Street in Orland Park, right there by the new Joey's Red Hots. Go check that out while you're out there. But get yourself a Mazda from Mazda of Orland Park. And with that, Rick, I think it's time to ask the Fats, correct?
It is.
The Colonel!
I hit the wrong button.
That's a great mishit, though.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Bless me, Father, for I've sinned. It's been 1 week since my last confession.
Okay, my son. What is your confession?
I'm fat.
Ask a Fat is always brought to you by our friend Charlie the Bacon Guy. He's in Disney World right now, as we speak, probably melting.
Yes.
Florida in June, what could go wrong? Everything. So Charlie sent me a picture from there, and he said the shirt I'm wearing used to be light blue. Now it's navy blue from all the sweat. And the beauty part about Disney is everyone agrees we're going to be sweaty, we're going to be miserable, and no one's going to judge us.
That's kind of like when I went to New Orleans in early July.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a poor decision. 95 degrees with 95% humidity.
It's
What's
like
the worst
walking
that could
through a
happen?
shower. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
brutal. Anyway, so he's got nothing to report right now. He said check the website for availability for everything, and once he gets back, he'll start fulfilling orders again. Head over to the charliethebaconguy.com. That's where you'll see all the flavors currently offered of the bacons and the bacon jams. He's also got the bacon vault in there. You see all the old flavors that Charlie's made before. And if you want an old flavor, get in touch with him. If you order enough, he can make it for you. charliethebaconguy@gmail.com is how you get in touch. He's based in Woodridge, so you can pick it up from his house. You can meet you halfway somewhere. You can even have it shipped out to you. So whatever you need, Charlie will make it happen. charliethebaconguy.com and charliethebaconguy@gmail.com. We have no voicemails this week. If you want to leave us one, the number is 708-858-3314. So we're going to get right to the voicemails.
Ask a Fat about this and that. It's time to chat with the Fats.
I think I said voicemails twice.
You did?
Yes, we're going to get to the emails now. If you want to email us, I'm fatpod@gmail.com. And we're going to start here with our pal Eurotrash. Eurotrash says, hey, Fats, wondering what you think of the current, quote, world's most expensive burger. The $6,000 Golden Boy sold by the restaurant De Dalton's in the Netherlands. I'm asking because, A, I think it would make a good destination for remote broadcast of the podcast. You can both try it and see what you think, not to mention other Dutch delicacies around the land. Bring Charlie the Bacon Guy and he can expense the entire trip. And 2, this restaurant is located in the town where I work. I've been there many times, but obviously never tried the Golden Boy. However, if a remote trip for you guys isn't in the cards, I'm more than happy to take one for the team and tell you how it tastes. Just need to start a GoFundMe to pay for it. That's from Eurotrash. I don't know what you think we do here, but we cannot afford that. We don't charge our sponsors nearly enough to try probably one of the Golden Boys, let alone 2. I have long contended, Rick, that there's no food item worth more than $50. No single food item worth more than $50.
Yeah, maybe after inflation, now that would have to maybe be raised a little bit, but on the whole, the principle of the matter, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Of just, like, once in a great while, like, honestly, when I had that really nice steak that I had from Gibson's, I wasn't even paying for that thing. That was a Lawrence Holmes being like, let's culture Tony and Rick can get a free meal out of it because he's part of the show too.
Yeah.
Hey, and it was one of those where Tony and I looked at the menu being the uncultured swines that we are. And I think Lawrence saw that and he's like, guys, get what you want. So we ended up getting steaks that were like slightly more than $50.
Okay.
Which still felt weird, even if we were being implored to do it.
But you're also getting stuff with it.
Right.
Right? It's like, but I'll say too, like, even the best steak, if you compare it to still a pretty good steak, it's not a massive difference.
No.
So anyway, but a $6,000 steak, that is a clout burger. That is a clout purchase.
Yes.
Like, I did this because I can. There's no way you're like, wow, that was worth every penny.
No chance.
I don't care how rich you are. There's no burger worth $6,000 or $1,000 or $100 or $75. It's a
Unless
hamburger.
there are literal bills of money on top of said burger.
Yes. If there's $5,950 on top of the burger, then we could talk.
It's insane.
It's nuts. I think he sent, hang on, let me check real quick. I think he actually sent like what's on it, but it's in, it needs to be
translated.
translated.
To
Yeah.
our Google Doc.
All right, let's see. Okay, there's caviar,
Okay.
king crab, paleta iberico, white truffle, English cheddar. I'm trying to translate this, so I'm sorry. It's it looks like some kind of barbecue sauce. Okay, so you're just basically covering a burger with expensive stuff.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Same.
I'll still come visit Mike in the Netherlands, though.
Yeah, I would love to. Europe, I've still never been to Europe. So, actually, I've only ever been out of the country by like 8 miles. I was over the border into Canada to fish when I was in like 8th grade.
That counts. It's basically Europe.
Yeah. Whatever. All right. The next one is from Ryan, and it's addressed to me. Rick, I enjoy trying hole-in-the-wall ethnic places. I know this is not always your thing, but today I went to Pupuseria Cheros at 704 East Higgins in Schaumburg. It's close to me, which it is. It's a Salvadorian restaurant. I got the carne guisada beef stew dinner, which came with rice, beans, and homemade Salvadorian tortillas.
Oh, hell
good.
yeah. That sounds awesome.
That sounds great. Really hit the home style cooking, not another burger or chicken sandwich spot. The stew was different, but still had very familiar flavors. The tortillas are thicker and somewhat between a tortilla and bread. The menu price was $16. I also got to try a
Revuleta?
Yeah, Revuleta.
Pupusa?
Pupusa. Yeah, sorry. It changed like size and font and it threw me off a little bit.
Yes.
Which is the Salvadorian go-to dish like a quesadilla. They got several different things for $3.50 each, and they're big and filling. 2 would be enough for a normie. It's up by you. It's different. It's good. It's reasonably cheap. You should go. I will do so.
Yeah, that carne
sounds
guisada
awesome.
sounds amazing. Yeah, please do that and report back because that sounds good.
Yes.
All right. I've got a long one here. This is from Eric, formerly in Oak Lawn. He's got a dilemma with McDonald's. He says, "Hey, fellas, I love the show. It's been a while since I've written in. I actually sent the idea for the I'm Fat map back in 2021. Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Appreciate that." He says, "Writing in today, hoping you two can be the arbiters on a recent frustration I encountered while using the McDonald's app. I was traveling on Memorial Day and had a flight from New York to Midway that landed at 7:55 a.m. I live in the city, took the Orange Line to State and Lake, and realized I was starving. For the walk home, I figured I'd pick up some McDonald's breakfast. Opened the app, ordered at the McDonald's in the Illinois Center. However, when I got there, the restaurant was closed. To be fair, I probably should have expected this since it was a holiday morning, but on the other hand, other places like Dunkin' were still open, and I had no way of knowing this before actually being there. Plus, the app let me order there. That's key, so I figured it was open. Anyway, tried canceling my order, but the app claimed that the restaurant had already started making my order. But again, I was standing in front of the restaurant, and it was closed, so no one was making that order. I took a photo of the closed store for the record and tried to figure out a way to contact McDonald's. Long story short, there's no way to do so on the app or website, so I ended up DMing them on Instagram, where I never heard back, and then on Twitter. There they told me that since the restaurant was closed, I would be refunded within 7 business days. Nothing to do then but wait for the refund. Fast forward, and you guessed it, no refund, so I DM'd them again on Twitter. They asked for my phone number and email and said someone from the restaurant would get in touch. 24 hours later, still nothing, so I DM'd them again, and they said they weren't able to reach me. I triple-checked everything and can confidently say no one tried to reach me. I DM'd this fact, and then essentially I get ghosted by the McDonald's account, and they have not responded since. Finally, I happen to be near the McDonald's in question again, went in and showed my digital receipt. They refunded my purchase, ending the 12-day saga. I DM McDonald's again, saying I finally got my refund and expressed my disappointment in the process, and still haven't received a response. Now, this was a lot of work for what amounted to an $8 refund. I know it's not a lot of money at the end of the day, but I wasn't able to get breakfast after an early morning flight, If I hadn't stayed on this, I have no doubt I would have never gotten a refund. I was also surprised no one from the customer service team that I was DMing with never offered a solution or even offered to load up my app with something like a free fry. Oh, maybe if you got a razor blade in there, next time you'll get that.
Yeah, right. You might get 2.
Eric says, this finally brings me to my question. I feel like I have to make a pointless stand against McDonald's, thinking of taking them out of the fast food rotation for a while, but don't know what an appropriate sentence for this would be or how long I can realistically hold out. What do you guys think is an adequate amount of time that I can ban McDonald's for? Does it change if they ever DM me back and offer free food? Have you two ever held a restaurant grudge like this before? Let me know what you would think. I will abide by your sentencing. That is Eric in Oak Lawn. I'm just surprised the app let you order. Because when I use the McDonald's app and I look at a breakfast item, it will tell me they're not serving breakfast anymore. So I'm surprised if a location is closed, unless it was some sort of emergency situation, like they had no power or there was flooding or something like that.
Sure.
I don't know. You would think they'd be better at communicating though, and be like, okay, here, well, we just threw $10 on your account.
Right. Just you're effing McDonald's. You can spare $20 and basically give this guy a free meal.
Exactly.
Like,
it just be like a default. If someone DMs your account, you're like, okay, what? How much did they lose? Great, double it, throw it in their account.
Right. Customer service matters at a point, even if you're McDonald's.
Right.
So it's just so easy to do.
Yep.
So I would say the sentence, probably at least a month. Do we say a month of no McDonald's? I guess it also depends on how often you tend to go there, because for me,
yeah, you're not a big McDonald's guy.
I haven't been to McDonald's in many months.
Yeah. I would say a week.
Okay.
They're not going to feel it anyway.
True. Honestly, whichever makes you feel better, go with that.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want McDonald's, don't feel bad about it. At least the place that you ordered from refunded you.
Right.
It is shitty that the customer service, but I would also, if I'm trying to not play devil's advocate, but look at it from the other end, they probably get 50 million complaints a day.
Yeah.
Think about all the McDonald's all over the country, and they probably funnel into 1 or 2 spots. Mm-hmm. So, all right, do you want me to take this long one? Do you want me to spare you this?
No, I got it.
All right.
It's from Jay in Lake in the Hills.
Hey, that's not me.
He said, "Hey there, my fellow fats. It's my last day here on my vacation at the Kalahari in the Wisconsin Dells. I want to give a report for the fats so they have a heads up on what to expect. Sorry, no food pics. Was too busy eating."
Fair.
Good reason. "Be warned, the food up here is super expensive. The place most people eat here is the Cafe Mirage. It's a poolside restaurant that serves hot dogs, pizza, burgers, chicken tenders, chicken wings, and other stuff like that. For just one hot dog, it's $9.
You had a baseball game?
Right. The hot dog combo that comes with fries and a drink that cannot be refilled is $15.
That's ridiculous.
That being said, the food is fairly good quality and no one in my family complained. Now on to the water slides. 2 of the water slides have strict weight limits. Victoria Falls and Master Blaster. Shout out Stevie Wonder. There's a joke in there somewhere. Anyway, the Master Blaster has a weight limit of 400 pounds and an individual weight limit of 250. So some of us might not be able to do that one. Victoria Falls has a weight limit of 500 pounds, but cannot be ridden by only one person. There are other slides where the weight is not checked, so the fun can still be had. We ate at one restaurant outside of the resort, Paul Bunyan's. It's an all-you-can-eat breakfast place that closes at 12:30 most days. They serve pancakes, sausage, scrambled eggs, biscuits and gravy, and fried potatoes. While they don't serve much every day, this is amazing. It's a must if anyone is coming to the Dells. All in all, the Kalahari is a fun place with lots to do, but is super expensive, so be prepared to spend a shit ton of money. They have other places to eat in the resort, but after seeing the prices of the one place, we didn't go anywhere else. Hope this helps some people with their vacation planning. From your fellow fat, Jay."
That's way too much for food. $15 for a hot dog and fries and a drink that can't be refilled? No. I think that's more than Disney.
Yeah, like the burger dog at Eaglewood, $9.
Yeah.
So that, where you're getting a hot dog wrapped in a burger, wrapped with bacon, okay, you can come closer to $9 for that, but not just for a hot dog.
Yeah, plus at Kalahari, most kids are getting it like plain or like with a splash of mustard or ketchup on it. Like, it's not like they're filling it with toppings either.
Right.
Water parks in general, as a fat guy, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in having my shirt off in front of 1,000 strangers. First of all.
Yeah, that's where I'm kind of in a middle point at that right now where do I want to, because I'm going to be in situations going to Hilton Head in a few weeks.
Don't wear a shirt in the water. Don't wear a shirt in the water.
No?
Here's the thing. All it does is draw more attention to you. Like, why is that guy wearing a shirt? He must be fat, and you're going to be uncomfortable. And you're going to have this big-ass wet shirt you have to lug. Just like, if you're going to get in the water, who cares? Just take the shirt off.
Okay.
And then just get in the water. Like, suck it in, as much as you can. Get water to the shoulder height, and then just out underwater, And then just like, as you come out the water, just like suck in as much as you can. Maybe have someone throw you a towel. Yep. I'm a big fan of the towel. Like, I'll do the over, so it's like over one shoulder, so it covers my belly and back. Yeah. Almost like a toga is how I'll wear my towel usually, just to cover everything. And keep my towel as close to the water as I can.
Yep.
But like a water park's different though. Like the beach, everyone's distracted, everybody's in their own thing. But you're at a water park and you're just like walking around indoors from place to place shirtless. It's a little different for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
And I'm out.
All right. Well,
that was fun.
After a week off, that felt good.
Yeah.
It always feels, there's always a minute of like, oh God, yeah, it's been a minute. You forget how to do some of the things, do the normal things that just come to mind. But with that said, thank you to everybody for listening, and you can follow us on all of our social media at I'mFatPod, I'mFatPod@gmail.com. Check out Spotify, Patreon if you like, and definitely check out I'mFatMerch.com. Check out our stuff. Even if you're not looking for our stuff on TeePublic, use our link. Helps us out. YouTube.com/I'mFatPodcast. Subscribe, like each video. Hey, we need those hours watched, so if you haven't watched this before, maybe do that for a week instead of the old audio feed, or just let it run in the background.
Yeah, do both.
And you can still just listen to the audio if you don't want to look at us, which I don't blame you.
Understandable.
And then you can always subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, unsubscribe, and resubscribe to the regular podcast feed, and leave us the old 5-star rating and review. And one of the best things you can do for us is check out our sponsors, Charlie the Baking Guy, Mazda of Orland Park, Fredo's Culinary Kitchen, and Nick and Ivy Brewing. So for Jay, I'm Rick. Happy Father's Day, and this is the I'm Fat Podcast.
Stay clear of the breakfast burritos. Too much of the chilaquiles.